Hi guys, it's Jsnow with my top 3 World of Warcraft add-ons for, patch 7. Right now, currently patch 7.3 for making gold on the auction house. So, just to give an example of how much gold I've made using these add-ons so far, is roughly about 4.7 million gold using this add-on. Using these add-ons to make tons and tons of gold. They're basically time savers. They're not going to actually make you the gold, but they're going to save you so much time that you'll have more time to make gold instead. If you get what I'm saying. So, first add-on is pretty obvious to a lot of people, but might not be obvious to some. It's Tradeskillmaster. So this is TSM, so you'll get a little button when you download it. And TSM 4.0 is coming out, so right now this is a slightly older version of TSM, but should work about the same. So, a quick, easy guide. If you're looking for a more advanced guide, I would definitely Google more advanced guides for TSM, but for a basic guide, just stick with me for the basics. So what we have is I usually just go to groups, click on groups. I go to one of my groups. So for example, if I want to make a new group, I would type in blah, 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 and then I would hit OK. So here's a group I already have. So now I want to click, once I go to my groups, or if I made a group, I want to click ignore random enchants. Why? Because it will scan for exact enchants and it will only undercut those exact enchants instead of undercutting for all types of items. So for example, Dark Mist Boots of the Whale, it will only scan for Dark Mist Boots of the Whale. If I want to scan for everything called Dark Mist Boots, I just click ignore random enchant, and then it will disappear and it will change to Dark Mist Boots. So, not exactly sure where it went on the thing, but as you can see, all the enchants are gone, so I can just add stuff. So for example, I'm going to add the Mighty Girdle, Mystic Leggings, and a bunch of other items, just to give a couple examples. So you click as many items as you want to put into TSM, and then you click add. And then it goes into the added list, so you can see this huge list right here is all the items that I have added to the list. I don't put, I don't put mats onto here because I don't trust TSM with my mats. And I'll show you a different add-on for that in a second. But yes, if you want to put in your materials for it, then you would click, for example, Arctic Fur and just hit add. But I'm not going to do that. Next, once you're done adding your items, so let's just add another item really quick. Alright, here's 2 items right here. We'll click add. Then go to operations. So operations, you can add an additional operation if you want to, but I'm not actually going to do that. And then you can add an operation. So for example, the one I already have is called Auction OP. So for example, just to start off fresh, I'm going to add a new group, so hit OK. And then once you're in this group, you add your items. So I'm going to add Arctic Fur. Then I go to operations, create new operation, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Would you like to add this new operation to add? Yes. And then you would go to your general post and you have all your different things. But I'm going to delete this operation because I already have one. So we're going to delete that. Then we're going to go to add. And let's just get rid of this. So delete group. Yes, please. And now we'll go to auctions and now we'll go to operations. I already have an operation, so I'm going to hit view operation options. Now, I don't really mess with anything else other than post. So when I go to post, I can change my duration of the auction. So for example, if I want 12, 24, or 48 hours, post cap I leave at 1 because I only use this for transmog. And for transmog, you really don't want more than 2 items up of the same name at the same time. Usually you just want 1 item up because you'll oversaturate the market pretty quickly. And the chances of you selling 2 of the same item in transmog is like so rare, it's not even funny. Now going to the post price settings, so you can also change your quantities. You can allow partial stacks if you're using materials, and stack size if you're using materials, stuff like that. So there's bid percent where you can change it to whatever you want. So right now at 100% there's no bid. If I put it to 90% and I have a 100 gold item, that means there will be a 90G bid on it. Undercut amount is how much you'll undercut. So for example, for gold I hit 2G, and so I undercut by 2 gold. And then pricing. So if you're looking for a more advanced guide, this won't be it, but there's all different types of pricing for TSM. So right now I just use 75% of DB market. So if you just want to copy my settings, feel free to go ahead, and that will use the database market for TSM, which you can get through the TSM App helper, which I'll go into in a second. So I have 75% of my minimum price DB market, maximum price is 125% DB market, and normal price is 100% DB market. And then you have when below the minimum, don't post items is what I put. So if an item is put on the auction house for way less than it's worth, I don't want to undercut that, so I'm not going to post it. And when something's posted for way more than it should be worth, I just post it at maximum price. I mean, you could undercut the guy and maybe make some more gold, but I like putting it at that because it makes it a little bit more enticing for buyers when they see a item going for 15k, which will never sell for 15k, and you undercut to like 10k just because you don't want to, what do you call it, just because you want to post at the maximum realistic price and hopefully get a sale out of that. So once you have all these options together, you can also have your cancel scans and repost scans. You can reset things, relationships, all different types of stuff. But for like a general user or casual player like me who just wants to post things and get it over with, just stick with the post section and change up the settings to what you want of that. So that's enough of that. Let's go to the actual posting. So let's click on this. So we just go to auction. There's all different kinds of TSM add-ons. The only one I'm using right now is auction database, which is a scan thing, which I actually don't need. I use the TSM app. And then I have auctioning. So for example, once my auction's here, I have my group set up. You'll see auction, and then I'm going to hit start post scan, and it will start scanning all the items that I can actually post. So as you can see, there's some that are at a normal price. So for example, this ancestral robe is going for about 2k. Not saying that it will sell at 2k, but I'll post it for 2k because nobody else is currently selling it. This silver thread amis, whatever you call it, is being sold right now for 130, about 100 and, what was it, 139G, so I'm undercutting by 2G, so I'll hit post. And then this thing, the bone casters, is actually above maximum price, so I'm going to post it for the 125%. And then pretty much, if you have this operation set and you're confident with your settings, you just hit post 1,000 times and it will post all your items over and over again, and then it'll load up, and then you wait for it to load up, and then voila, all your things are posted, and you can see half my stuff just disappeared from my bag. Let's hit stop. So stop, and then it shows you the total value of your auctions, which is 4,000. For mine, it's 47,000. Now this is just a rough estimate. There's no way. You basically make 10%. If you have a lot of stuff on the auction house, you basically make 10% of the rule of thumb. What I've seen from many videos is you make 10% of what is actually on your total value of auctions a day. So don't expect to be pulling in just because I have 47,000 gold in the auction house. Expect to maybe pull like a couple thousand a day or something like that, but definitely not anywhere near the amount you put in unless you have a serious amount of auction houses. I mean, tons of auction houses. What am I talking about? Tons of auctions. I hear the auction house bell or whatever is going off. So that was a little bit confusing. So that's how TSM basically works. Now, what you will also need is the TSM app. So I'll put that in the link description below. But if we can just open up a monitor capture really quickly. So to get the Tradeskillmaster app, you have to go to tradeskillmaster.com. And you can go to install TSM. And then you would go to Tradeskillmaster app. You can also install the add-on via Curse. Or you can go to Tradeskillmaster app and download it here. And if you need help to install the add-on, since I haven't done it in a long time, I can't actually really explain it. Just go to TSM. Actually, go back a little too quickly. Go to the knowledge base. So, for example, I need to learn more. So let's go to learn more or get help. Actually, let's click get help on the top. Go to TSM app. Go to the app fac. I mean, not app fac. Go back one. Set up TSM desktop application, and you'll have a step-by-step guide on how to set up your Tradeskillmaster. What do you call it? Login, so you can get all your realm datas and set all that up. So pretty good stuff. And then you'll have everything set up with the prices and the tooltip to display. So once you have that set up, we'll X this out. It should look something like this with the servers you have set up. So for example, I'm on US Sargeras, so it says up to date, and it shows the time it was up to date from. There's the add-on version. So here's all the different types of TSM add-ons you can actually download that you want. Right now I just have Tradeskillmaster, the basic Tradeskillmaster, auction database, and app helper, which needs an update, but I can't seem to find it for some reason, and TSM auctioning, which once again I can't seem to find for some reason. But just make sure all your stuff is up to date, and even if it isn't up to date, just make sure your prices are correct, and you should be good to go. But definitely update everything that needs to be updated. Definitely don't be me, basically. Don't be me. So let's exit out of that. And what the app does is it shows, what do you call it, your auction database and how much your items are worth or what they're going for. So for example, here we have a Vanguard girdle, which is a decent transmog item that sells. And right now, if you look at the bot, it will show you the disenchant value. So if I were to disenchant this, I have a chance of getting around 28 gold for it. It shows the vendor price. It shows how much I have in my inventory. So I have one in the guild vault and one on me right now. And then the TSM, the most important part, is the TSM auction database, which shows the minimum buyout, the market value, region market value average, region sale average, and region sale rate. So I just go by the top one minimum buyout, which means that's how much it's on the auction house for, or was on the auction house for. So that's what I usually sell it for. So since this is a single item with no enchants, I can actually throw it up on my second add-on, which I'll go into a second. So for example, right here, it's going for 700. It's going for basically the amount that was set on the thing. Just make sure you have your TSM app open at all times, or open it every couple of hours, and then it will update the price. And that's really it about TSM. So let's just go to the auctions, and you can see all my auctions are in there for very long, so greater than 12 hours. So that's TSM for you. Now the second tool I use, this is for my materials. It's a lot easier in my opinion. So this is Auctionator. So for Auctionator, you can buy items if you want. So for example, if I hit Fiendish Leather, I can hit search and it will scan the auction house for each stack of Fiendish Leather. I keep mixing it up. And then I can see the stack. So there's one stack of 22, I can hit buy, and then once it loads up, I can hit buy one. For some reason this takes a little bit long to load, but I don't use this for buying, to be honest. So I just hit cancel. But if you want to buy stuff, it will buy the stack of 22 Fiendish Leather. I'm going to hit cancel. So if you're looking to buy things like definitely materials, I wouldn't do transmog with this, but any materials I would definitely look doing this. So for example, if I shift click anything, so let's see, let's shift click Elementalium ore. So we'll scan again, and it's going for about 3G, and then there's also the nugget part, which is about 5G. Now let's go to sell. So this is what it's all about, is sell. Before I go to sell, let's also go to more. So you can check for undercuts. So right now I have big gamey ribs that I put in for, that I put in using this add-on, and whiptail. So whatever you put into the add-on, you can also check for undercuts. So for example, I'm the lowest value there, so I'm good on the undercuts, and you can do that too. Now this is what I use it for, is sell. So for example, I have Jorandel seeds, your Sarandel seeds. I don't know. I don't know how to say that, but basically it scans, and then it's going for 222. So I actually don't want to post that because 222 is pretty low considering it usually goes for about 4 gold on my server. But as you can see every single stack that is up there. So somebody apparently wants 56,000 gold worth of Jorandel seeds. But anyway, you would click create auction and you can change the stack. So for example, I have 2 stacks of 200. So I'm going to hit 2 and it'll create 2 auctions at that price. So make sure the price is correct. So for example, this is 222. I'm undercutting by just a little bit, so I'm undercutting to 220. Then I would click create 2 auctions. Just make sure your duration is correct, which you can change in the settings. So for example, if I go to options, undercutting and selling, you can change everything here. So you have your database. You can even make shopping lists, but nobody really uses that anymore. And just basic stuff. So default auction duration, there you go. So I'm just gonna put 12 for mats, 24 for like items and stuff like that. So just really simple to use. So let's put something else. So Arctic fur. So 355, that's about fine. So I'll just click create auction. And there you go. For 12 hours, it will say 1 stack of 1 yours. And then if you go back and put in Arctic fur again, you can always check for undercuts by going back to more, and then check for undercuts. And oh, it looked like it updated my items. All right, that's interesting. All right, so it actually did update my items. So these I didn't put in through Auctionator, but it will come up anyway. So that's pretty cool. So that is Auctionator. Now the last add-on of this video, which is really simple, is the mailbox add-on, Postal. So unfortunately, it's going to be not hard to explain, but hard to show because I don't have anything in my mailbox. But the add-on is called Postal. And you have a whole bunch of different settings that you can mess around with whenever you feel like it. And basically what I do here is it opens all mail really fast. So you just click open all and all your mail will start opening up really fast instead of having to click one at a time. So all I do with this add-on, this is all I do. I just click this little down arrow right here. Go to opening speed. For some reason it's like at 0.50 or 0.55. I change that to 0.30. And voila, you'll be opening it at speeds of 0.30 seconds. Sometimes it lags a lot, so it's not the most reliable add-on, but it opens up all your mail really quick. And you can also change your free space. So for example, another option I use is other options using this down tab right here. Keep free space, and then I put 0 just so it doesn't leave any space left in my bags. So there it is, my top 3 World of Warcraft add-ons for auctioning. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, hit that like button if this helped you out at all. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed it. So thanks for watching. Feel free to subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys next time.